Jim, we're making this DVD about Bill Norton's life, and we're interviewing people who had similar experiences to him. So are you happy to be interviewed for this?
Yeah, I understand you, yeah.
And could you tell us what your name is and where you're from?
Pardon?
Tell us what your name is and where you're from.
James Price, and I've lived all my life in Bolton anyway.
Okay, so let's start off by you telling us where you were born and where you were brought up.
Yeah, well, I was actually, where I was born, I do not know. I know the area where my family was were Hallowell, you know, but where I was born, whether it was in hospital, but they were more so at home in them days, you know, with the midwife and whatever. And I lived in Hallowell quite a number of years and schooling. I went to St Joseph's School, which was at Hallowell. And on leaving there, just went to, well, my father must have found me a job, a painter and decorator, you know. I had no inclination on anything like that, but I stood that for a few years, and I went into textiles and mills, which a lot of us did do at them days. But I got a bit fed up of working inside, and from then I went into the coal industry, you know, driving, delivering coal, which was a bit of an hard job, you know, the winters and the summers, frozen bags, building a fire on the lorry flat to thaw the bags out, you know. And the horses were involved in that as well.
Let's slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Tell us about work. You worked in a spinning mill.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about what working in a spinning mill was like.
Well, in spinning mill, the major job I did, because I did a few jobs at spinning mills, was on machines called scutchers. They was the first process of the raw cotton coming in. When they came in with bales of cotton, came overhead in a room at the top and come down a chute to these big machines, and there was the first process of the cotton. It broke the cotton up with like big rollers with spikes on, like a big massive comb, and there was an amount of them. Then it come out at the end, rolled in a bar, which we call a lap, which it would be taken into the car room to be put on different machines to make it into, well, rolled in a can it was, and they were like tubular cotton when it came out. From therefore, it went on to different machines and finished up like fine thread, actually, you know. But I did get fed up of working inside, watching the clock for finishing, so I decided to finish. I wanted to go back to driving, you know. So I went driving and on the coal, and I stood a few years on that, winters and summers, you know, and it got a bit horrendous on that, you know, so.
Just tell us about, because you worked with horses on a farm, did you, at some stage?
Yeah, this was actually at school, you know, and this farmer used to come across the playground, which was a dirt playground at St Joseph's, and he'd come across with his horse and his cart, which we call a float, a milk float them days, you know, and he had these kits of milk on, about 4 kits of milk, about 4.5 gallon in each kit. And you used to know him, you say hello to him. Anyway, I got to know some people what went up to his farm. So I asked him, and he said, yes, I could come up. And I started going up at weekend, and I like helping out on the farm. I mean, he had a couple of horses. He had a Shire horse and a pony. I think it was a Welsh mountain pony. He was big one.
And what did you do with the horses?
I used to drive the horses with the milk float on, deliver the milk during the daytime. That was when I had enough time at school. And while I was at school, at dinner hour, I used to see the lady, the husband of the farmer. She always liked a little drink in a pub, you know, Portland Hotel it was. So I used to see her in it, and I used to go into the Portland. I was still at school, didn't I? And I used to ask her, did she want me take the horse and cart to finish off some deliveries while she had a drink, you know, because I knew the round, you see. But obviously, the horse knew the round. So she said, yes, so I took reins at the horse and float and went round about Talwell. The horse took me round, you know, delivered and served the milk, and I took the cart back to her. But I did help out on the farm with them as well, you know, in the Shire horse when was used to grow horrible crops, turnips and that for feed for the animals which you'd have. So I was with everything, livestock, you know, from the hens, chickens, pigs, horses, everything. You know. But I did like horses.
It sounds like you like working outside.
Yeah, yeah,
That's one of the reasons you didn't like the mill.
yeah.
So just tell us about applying for the job. Was it with the co-op that you worked?
NCB, that was the call. Yeah,
The coal.
yeah.
Can you remember your first day?
First day, yeah, the first day I went for a job NCB, and it was in Great Moor Street, corner of a back street. There's an offices where people could go and order the coal, and then upstairs was the manager's office. He was the manager of the sidings round about Bolton, and that's where I went upstairs. His name was Mr. Burns. He was the actual manager. And he took me and he showed me, I can actually see him. You use a spade like that, you know, lifting it up and putting it in. And he said, well, we'll take you for a lorry. And we actually went to Bury, a sidings, to pick up one of these lorries. How they had it, I do not know. And he says, this is your lorry for the time being. So that's when it started at Crook Street sidings. But with about 3 sidings, double and Hallowell, which I worked at all 3. You had to do when they wanted you, you know.
You started at Crook Street. Could you take us through an ordinary working day from the beginning and loading up until the end? Talk us through what that working day was like.
Well, first of all, we had to go to get the lorry to fuel up, water up, maintain it, make sure your lorries are all right for the day. And where it was parked, if I worked at all those sidings, I had to go down to where the sidings were in town near Great Moor Street sidings, pick it up, come back to Hallowell, then go into the office, and they just say how much coal, what type you wanted. But you might have had one type, grade 1, grade 2, coal bricks, cinders, you know, so you got to work it out where you're going to put on your lorry. And the coal wagons, the door came down from the coal wagons, half door, and you had to have a prop underneath it for it to land on. So as the chap what was with me, my mate, he could stand on it to shovel the coal into the bags while you used the weighing machine. And you had to be very careful. You had to just get that weight particularly right, you know, with 2 big weights on the scale one side and weigh it. So we filled the bags, and depending what it was a 9-hour day, and they reckoned it an hour. Are you okay? An hour was equal to 1 ton.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah, go on, you're all right.
Just start with, it was a 9-hour day again.
Yeah, we worked a 9-hour day. You had to do, that was what you were paid off. And each hour compared of 1 ton of coal. So if we had a smallish wagon which held 3 ton, that's 60 bags, which equated to 3 ton. You had to go there and back 3 times in the day to load up, go out, deliver, get back your 3 ton. Slowly we got bigger lorries with 4.5 ton. That was 90 bags, so you do 90 bags in the day, but it was a lot of work going out, and I used to do a lot of farms. There only needed farms round Harwood, and that was a hard job, farms, because a lot of carrying the bags, distances, even on flats as well, 3-story flats, no lifts, carrying bags of coal up them lifts, you know, and by that time, I was really shattered, you know, with the do you want anything else on that?
Yeah. So, were you on a lorry on your own, or did you have a mate?
Yeah, well, I had a mate, but if they were short of workers, like I was short, my mate didn't come in for some reason or other, they would ask me, would I go out on my own and do a certain amount of coal equal to half a day's work on my own. But they'd give me flats so I could finish early, but it was very, very hard work. 3-story flats on your own, and you were carrying every bag up and down all the time, you know. It was very hard work. But you had to do, instead of 9 ton, if you worked on your own, you had to do 4.5 ton. You know, but you tried to squeeze 4.5 ton on the lorry, you know. You threed it up on the lorry, 3 layers of coal, and it was hard work jumping up, pulling them down, getting them on your back. Wet weather and God knows what, you know, that would... Today, I don't think that would be allowed with health and safety, anyway, that kind of work. That's out because very rarely... I've never seen a coal man for years now. They've all gone.
So how many people were you delivering to? How many businesses, how many homes were you delivering to?
Well, it depended on how many bags of coal they ordered, you know. I mean, you could get the farms could order 10 bags, you know, so it could be about 20, 18... you know, even 15 drops, but if there were 15 drops, you got the farthest away, you know, doing it. But a lot of it was cherished houses, back streets. Them were quite easy if you had access to the back gates.
Okay, Jim. So, I mean, was the pay decent? Did you get free coal? Did you get your own coal?
No, we got no concessions whatever. In fact, when I started, we had to go home dirty, you know, in all the coldest times. It wasn't till later on that they had showers put in at one of the depots, that was the central one, in town. But all the other depots, they didn't have showers and baths, so you just went home. No, we got no concessions. What we did get later on, I think we got a donkey jacket, that was it. But we used to put old coal bags around us, keep us dry in winter, loading up, then didn't get wet through. But you got wet through, you know, that was it, because you was in the elements all the time, you know. Even when it was snowing, icy, the coal bags on the lorry was frozen. So we put bricks on the lorry, built it up, a big 4.5 gallon drum, and made a fire on the actual lorry. You know, made sure it didn't set fire to the corner, to thaw out these coal bags, because you couldn't handle a thawed bag. It was stiff like cardboard, you know, and you had to manoeuvre it for putting coal in. Many times I've had my fingers cut, you know, with the spade on it, you know. But it was very traumatic, it was that job.
So, and how long did you do this work?
I did that job practically, I did quite a few years, about 11, 12, 13 years. I worked for Coal Board, then I worked for a private firm, you know, as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's great. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
When I used to go away with my mum when I was little, we always used to go to Morecambe. And I always remember the donkeys and the horses on the sands. And I got to know this particular family what had horses and donkeys. So what did they do? Used to help out with the horses, take them back to the stables when they finished at night, and go and meet my friend, pick the horses back up and fetch them back on the sands. And he used to help them during the day. This is the thing what I like, you know. Yeah.